Hello. Some time ago I started a trial where I cut a potato in half and planted it. I also planted a full potato, and the trial was to try and determine when we harvested those potatoes if there was an advantage in cutting potatoes in half or a disadvantage. And we're now at the end of the road. We're ready to terminate the plants. We're ready to do a harvest, and we're going to do that in a couple of minutes. But what I would suggest you do is, if you're going to watch this video right through till the end to see that harvest, to see that reveal, and I suggest you do, you will need one of these because it's fairly long-winded. You will need a strong cup of tea to keep you going. Now I'm going to start the video by cutting back to some video that I shot when I kicked this trial off, and because this is a start to finish video, I've had to leave quite a bit of this in, otherwise it isn't a start to finish video, is it? If I start chopping large sections out, then you miss the beginning, you miss the middle, you miss some of the end. It wouldn't be a start to finish. So it's a start to finish video. But if you're just interested in the finish, hey, fast forward. You know, just hit the button, fast forward, you get the potato reveal. But if you want to see the full story, then you need to watch it from start to finish. And you will need one of these. So I suggest you press the pause button now, if that's your intention to watch it right through. Make yourself a brew, get yourself comfortable, press play. And at the end of this video, you're going to see that potato reveal that I promised you. It's not the potato reveal I promised you in the early part of the video, because we had an incident. Yeah, we had an incident. And you'll see that in the video. And as I've said, if you don't watch that and you just go straight to the end of the video, you might wonder what's happened. You won't have seen the incident. So yeah, watch it right through. Enjoy your tea. Get yourself a biscuit. Why not? Okay, I'm going to harvest those potatoes now. I'll pop that piece of video right on the back of this video. Right, so what we're going to do today, well, I'm going to cut one of these potatoes in half, and that'll be grown on as two halves, and I'm leaving one potato whole. Now these chits are fairly close together at the top, and what I need to do is I need to get some chits on each half of the potato. So this video could end quite suddenly actually. If I make a mess of this, I can't do it because these are the last two potatoes I've got. So I'll put that one to one side, and we'll try and cut this one in half and leave a chit on both sides. The other thing I would say here is that if there are chits all over the place, you can cut a potato into more than halves. You can cut it into thirds, you can cut it into quarters, you can cut it into as many pieces as you like, as long as there's a chit. I'm not too sure what they'll grow, bearing in mind there won't be much potato left to support the plant as it gets bigger. Done it. How's that? Chits on this half, chits on this half. Now what I intend to do now is I'm going to leave these in the greenhouse to scab over, to dry over before I plant them. The potatoes have scabbed over nicely. They're quite dry to the touch now, so we're ready to pot these up. Problem is, it's still so cold here at Homegrown Veg in the United Kingdom. I want to keep these guys indoors a bit longer. I want to keep them in the greenhouse. But I've got buckets everywhere. I've got buckets with carrots in, beetroot in, potatoes in, leeks in. Man alive, I can't move for buckets. There isn't enough room in this greenhouse to swing a cat round. It's only an 8x6 greenhouse, and so I just don't have the room for 3 more buckets. I just don't have the room. And I don't want to put them outside because it's too cold. I want them to stay in here for a while till the weather picks up. So as an interim measure, as a stopgap, we're going to plant them in these yoghurt pots. I can keep 3 yoghurt pots in the greenhouse, that's not a problem, but I can't get another 3 of those 10-inch buckets in the greenhouse. So we plant them in the yoghurt pots. We'll keep these in the greenhouse until these potatoes get bigger. And when they become a potato plant, we'll plant them up into the buckets, and hopefully by that time they can go outside. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. What have I wrote on here? Half, half, full. Right, we'll do the full one first, the full potato first. A little bit of compost in the bottom. As you can see, these have got holes in. So we've put some soil in the bottom. We'll just sit this potato on it, like that. Okay, it's just sat on it nicely, and we'll just fill it up. Like that. Shake it in. One down. Right, this one is for half a potato. Oh, and incidentally, what I'm going to do is, hold on, we'll need, this is a bit of a balancing act because it's only half a potato. What I'm going to do is, the best bit of this growing potatoes is definitely the harvest, isn't it? I mean, we're okay planting them, but really what you want to see is potatoes being harvested. Okay, so that's it. The next time you see these guys, we'll probably be moving them up into those water buckets. We've got shoots, but have we got roots? If we've got shoots and we've got roots, it's time for these guys to be moved up into the buckets. Let's check them out. Okay, this one first, this half potato. Yeah, I hope you can see that. That's definitely got roots. Pop that back in there, like that. And I expect this one to probably be the same. This is another half potato. Oh yeah. Loads of roots. Loads of roots. So these half potatoes have become potato plants. Would you agree? They've got roots, they've got shoots. That constitutes a plant, does it not? Roots and shoots. And the full potato, yeah, it's got roots as well. Hope you can see those. So I'll get this table out of shot. I'll bring the barrow into shot with the bucket, which I've already prepared. And we'll plant these up. Let's go with the full one first. I've got about 2 inches of mix in the bottom of this 10-inch water bucket. This is just a soil-based compost that I've made up at home. We're going to sit this on top of it, and we're going to bury it. We're going to cover it completely. Look, sounds a bit brutal, but it isn't. We'll give these some protection, and also the fact that when it's buried it'll be frost protected, so we'll be able to stand this bucket outdoors. This is how we're going to protect it. This is a sawn off pop bottle. Fits perfectly. So it can be as rough as we like now when we fill this bucket. How about that? Hey, how about that? We'll gently remove this. This is going to collapse in, but I'm going to try and let you see it anyway. There it is, nestling in the bottom. How about that? Boy, couldn't be easier, could it? Couldn't be easier. Right, let's do one of those half potatoes on camera, and then we'll do the other one off camera, because I think if you've seen two planted, you've seen enough. This is one of the half potatoes. Same procedure for this one. Sit it in the bottom. Give it some protection and bury it. Now I don't expect we're going to see these again now for a couple of weeks, and when we do, when there's something to look at, I'll pop another video up. Okay. It only seems a few days ago since I put these potatoes in these buckets, and boy have they kicked on in those few days. Blimey. This is half a potato. You can just see it, it's lifted the soil, it's breaking through. So we've got shoots and we've definitely got roots. This is another half potato. Got the shoots, got the roots, yep, they're growing well. And this is the full potato. I don't know if you can see, it's just starting to lift the soil. It's just starting to push its way through. So all three buckets are up and running. Half a potato, a full potato. They were all planted on the same day. The three buckets have stood together since that day. If they've been in the greenhouse, all three have been in the greenhouse. If they've been outside in the garden, all three have been outside in the garden. The three potatoes have all had the same growing conditions, yet only two have grown. This one's a no-show. This is a potato plant growing from half a potato. This is a potato plant growing from half a potato. This isn't a potato plant, and somewhere in there is a full potato. It started to grow, you saw that earlier in the video. You saw it starting to push the soil up, but it just hasn't made it. and I don't think it will make it now, given that these two were so far on and this one is so far behind. Whatever's happened in here is terminal, isn't it? So we need to change our plans. So I think what we'll do is we'll grow these two half potatoes on to maturity, then we'll take them. What else can we do? What else can we do? This particular bucket we're going to take to the barrow. We'll bring the barrow in the shot. We're going to dump it. We're going to empty it out. See what's been going on in this bucket. Okay, it's autopsy time. Morris Piper. Let's see what's happened. That's the original soil ball that came out of the yoghurt pot. Potatoes inside there somewhere. Still see the roots. No shoots. Well, there's our potato. Still feels solid. Hasn't gone squidgy. Oh yeah, it has. Yeah, down there, yeah. Yeah, I can see it there. There, look, did you see that come out there? Watch on a squeeze. Where my finger and thumb is. You see that? Yeah, it's definitely gone. So, this one didn't grow, the other two did. One of the things I'm often asked about growing potatoes is how do I know when it's time to harvest the potato? Well, there are a few things to consider here. Firstly, is it an early variety or a main crop variety? Because if it's the latter, then it needs longer in the bucket, in the bag, in the bed. It just does. And weather conditions can play a part. If it's good potato growing weather, whatever that happens to be, then they don't take as long to maturity. But if it's cold, for example, yeah, they take longer to maturity. But these are the signs I like to look for. Yellowing of leaves. That's a good indication that this potato plant has run its race. It's not growing anymore, it's starting to die off. And the yellow leaves from bottom up, not top down. If they start coming top down, chances are you've some sort of issue with your potato. But once you start getting yellow leaves at the bottom of your plants, then it's time to harvest them. A proviso for that would be, if you're growing potatoes close together, you may get lots of yellow leaves forming quite early in the plant's life, but that's because one potato plant has fallen over onto the one next to it, shaded it, took the light from it, caused the leaves to go yellow. So you need to be careful about this. But the other thing, and this is a sure sign, if I can find these, let me just have a look here. Have you seen these things before? Have you ever seen those before? Sometimes referred to as potato fruits, sometimes referred to as potato apples, more often referred to as TPS, true potato seed. Once you get flowers on your potatoes, flowers get pollinated by the pollinators and produce these packages of seeds, these fruits, these apples, true potato seed. So the plant's finished now. So let's get it out of this bucket. Thanks for sticking with it, by the way. Did you get yourself a cup of tea? Right, well I hope it's been worth it. We'll soon find out, won't we? Half a potato. Here we go. Right, oh here we go, we've got potatoes. Yeah, we've got potatoes. Well, who would have thought it? Look at that. Look at that. They came from half a potato. Blimey. Let's see if we can do this. And what I'll do, incidentally, we will do a weighing as soon as this the second bucket's been harvested. We will do a weighing. Now I was hoping to do this alongside that full potato, but you know what happened if you've watched the video from start. Hey, come on, half a potato. Look at all those potatoes. Right, I'll move this to one side and I'll get the second half a potato in the barrow. And then I think what we'll do is we'll pop all the potatoes back in, and that's what the two halves of potato produce. Or should we weigh them separate? No, that's what we'll do. We'll get the scales out and we'll weigh them separate, and then we'll combine them. Okay, so this guy's the same, look, producing yellow leaves at the bottom, and I'm sure I've seen some, yeah I have, there they are. See these guys? So this has produced those potato apples, potato fruit, true potato seeds. Yeah, so time to have this one out as well. In actual fact, I think I can see a couple of potatoes now poking out the top of this. There's one for definite, and that looks like another there. See that? One there, one there. There we go, half a potato. Shake them out. Oh, hey, come on, half a potato grew all these. Blimey. Right, let me move those to that side. Let's have a fish about. Ooh. Right, let me bring them back for you. How about that? Unbelievable. Right, let's get the scales. Okay, let's see what we've got. It's worth bearing in mind as I load these potatoes onto the scales that these are just small 10-inch ex-cut flour water buckets that I'm growing in. So if you want to make a comparison with what you're doing, or what anybody else is doing for that matter, you might need to scale it up, because I think most people tend to grow in those 5-gallon buckets, don't they? And this is I think it measures in at a 10-litre bucket. You'll need to do the maths, I'm not doing it. But I think it's about perhaps half the size of a 5-gallon bucket, something like that. And there's only half a potato went in this. I know some of the people that grow in 5-gallon buckets are putting 3 potatoes in there. Right, let's see what we've got. That's £2. £2 of potatoes from half a potato in an ex-cut flour water bucket, a 10-inch ex-cut flour water bucket. Come on, that's a result, isn't it? All those potatoes from just half a potato. Right, let's do the second one. Wow, £2 of potatoes. And I've got to say they're all clean. Well, they're dirty, but they're clean, you know what I mean? They're all sound potatoes. See if we can get £2 from the other half of potato. Are we anywhere near that £2 yet? Are we? There's a couple of small ones to go. Might do it. Right, let's have a look. Oh, get in there, Morton. That's got to be 2 1/4 pound, hasn't it? It looks as though it's on that 1 kilogram mark. Is that does that equate to 2 1/4 pounds? £2 plus 2 1/4 pounds, 4 1/4 pounds. Over £4 of potatoes from 2 halves of potato. Hey, that's a result. You know it is. That's a result. And I've got to say this. I've seen quite a few potato reveals on YouTube, and some good potato reveals. I'm putting this one up there among them. Bear in mind what went in and what came out. Half a potato in, 2 1/4 pounds of potatoes out. That's up among them, isn't it? It definitely is. Right, one last look at these in the wheelbarrow. And then we'll say bye-bye. Did you have that cup of tea? Did you? Right. Well, you can make yourself another now. Can't you? Just as soon as I empty these in this barrow, you can make yourself another. The ones on this side of the barrow look a wee bit darker than the ones on this side. The bucket that these grew in would be drier than the bucket that these grew in. That's the only difference. Hey, what do you think? Go on. That's a lot of potatoes. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. I've enjoyed this reveal. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.